Hello my YouTube viewers, Moogle847 back again. I was originally going to do a review tonight, but sadly, I ended up going against it to actually get on the soapbox here for a minute. Recently, uh, recently we've had a movement that talked about trying to find the fair use because there is the copyright laws that originally protected the internet, and is now gotten or has now gotten to the place where it was completely outdated. And so there was a petition that was made in order to try and get people to sign up and kind of do a whole thing of where is, or just to kind of go up and say, hey, the copyright laws that govern the internet need to be looked over because they haven't been messed with actually since 1998, nearly 20 years ago. But good thing is though, this petition to have this looked at had over over 100,000 signatures on YouTube, and the group that got me into this was Doug Walker on his Channel Awesome site. Excuse me. He did a video on it because he was having issues where a bunch of his videos, if he was doing reenactments, or he was doing everything he could to stay within the copyright laws, he was getting flagged for everything. He was losing money. He was getting strikes on his channel, what have you. And so he was bringing it to everyone's attention. Hell, a lot of people were. I mean, I'm actually subscribed to a bunch of these. Alpha Omega Sin, Team 4 Star, Angry. I don't know if Angry Joe did one. I think he did though. I mean, even Jim Sterling, who I respect a lot of these guys because they were the people that went out and made a name for themselves on YouTube. And here I am, a guy that's just starting, and I'm trying to make a name for myself. Granted, I've only got the 8 people that really like this, and like I said, for all my fans, like I said, Jim, Joey, and all you other people, thank you for still supporting me. Like I said, you guys are great. Alright, I do these videos for you guys. Doesn't mean I still don't mind trying to get ad revenue from YouTube for this, but hey, we're gonna get there, guys. We're gonna get there. I mean, even if this takes me like 20 years before I get like over 100,000 subscribers, I'm gonna keep trying. All right, I am gonna keep going. All right. And it does help. I haven't gotten any strikes on my channel. I've just had a couple copyright claims. Well, three copyright claims, and unfortunately, one of those forced me to kind of delete one of my videos, which I hated that. But I digress. Anyway, but like I said, I'll go into that story here in a minute. But yeah, Doug Walker and all these people brought to our attention that yeah, the fair use laws haven't been touched in 20 years. So after this petition got 100,000 signatures and 100,000 people commented on it and everything else, suddenly we've got all these people that suddenly Doug put up a thing saying that yeah, the bigwigs of these entertainment outlets have come up and started calling us or pretty much done name calling, calling all of us that believe in fair use and the freedom of speech, especially if it's something where it's like, yeah, we can get paid for our time, for the hard work we're trying to put into these videos and whatever we're doing, that we're parasites, that we're the zombie apocalypse of the internet, because we want to get our voices heard and still be able to, put food on our tables. So we're the bad guys. But, but like I said, but Doug went up and he said that, yeah, this has happened. And he pointed me to a good site. Actually, let me pull that back up here. But he has a link to a site. I'm going to see if I can find that here, because I will need to actually add that to my site too, or to this video as well, because I want you guys to go to it. Because the idea is that, or the idea of this particular site is just to show, because some of these people that have said that all these bad things that are happening, or all these reviewers and everyone else that's doing all these stupid things, that they, or that it's causing them to lose business. And it's a yes and a no. Because some people that say, yeah, stay away from these places, or stay away from these sites, yeah, it's understandable what they're going for. Or it's understandable what they're saying, because, like, if you say a movie is bad or a game is just that bad, then by God, it hurts their sales. And that's understandable. But there are some points where you go up and you promote a bad movie, or you go up and you do a review of a bad movie. Now people want to go up, they want to rent it, they want to buy it, whatever they want to do to see this movie, to see this series. Ooh, excuse me, a little cold in here tonight. Is it 73 in here? My God, it feels like it's freaking 20. I swear to God. Anyway, yay for living in a basement. Anyway, but it's just the fact that these companies are saying they're losing money, but there are some of these movies have become more famous because of bad reviews or whatever else. Because I mean, it's one of those deals. It's for the fact that I know a lot of you guys want me to still try to review The Room at some point. And I usually try to make it a point of, like, I have to own a copy of it or whatever. It may be something where I may actually put it on Netflix and finally do a real review of The Room. Alright. That I'll go ahead and put that into my to-do list, guys. Alright? Because like I said, I support you guys wanting to support me. Alright? You guys are great. You guys are awesome. Thank you. But like I said, the deal is they went up, or these companies have gone up and said that, yeah, they're hurting because of it. And some of these people that have, or some of these movies that had real bad problems or whatever, suddenly you get celebrities that are coming back and looking at what the critics have said on the movies or whatever, and then they see that, like, suddenly the sales of the movie, like in the DVDs or whatever, they see that, excuse me, that the sales have gone up, and then, or that there's been so much support, there've been so many positive comments to these people, to these actors, and it helps launch their careers a little bit more. So that way, this one bad mark on their career suddenly becomes that mark that helps launch them to stardom, and or gets it so that they can work toward more projects and get better with their talent. And it's one of the things Hollywood does not, or Hollywood, the granted, I love Hollywood, believe me, I love the movies they put out, but this just needs to, it's something where it's like, yeah, we're suddenly the bad guys for helping to promote a bad movie, or help, or or whatever, and then it ends up helping somebody that could then go to one of their movies where they can be a better fit for another actor. So it's one of those deals. But like like I said, it's kind of interesting. Here we go. But the thing that's interesting is this newest thing with the Where's the Fair Use Progress that Doug Walker put up on his Channel Awesome site. I mean, he's got. See, I mean, he's done like a bunch of done a bunch of videos. I'm gonna go ahead and cite them here. You know, he's got the What the Hell YouTube Part 2, Where's the Fair Use, Save Fair Use Now, the We're Zombies article, which is from torrentfreak.com, copyright, copyright group Lincoln's, massive DMCA abuse protests to zombie apocalypse, you know, whatever, okay. Hack the Planet, apparently. Yep, that's from Huffington Post. And from William Buckley Jr. You know, that's right, William Buckley Jr. Huffington Post, or whatever. But it's and then the fact that he also wants to promote the fact that there's a group, or there's a thing that says "Take down, stay down," or how the or the RIAA wants to destroy the internet, which is a form that was sent, and it's, let's see, I don't know where that is exactly, but anyway. I'll have to look at that in a minute. But it's supposed to be a new form that's supposed to be going up or whatever. He talks about it in his video, guys. Alright? And believe me, when I get done here, I will put in the comments that I even gave him a shout out. And gave his channel a shout out. Alright? But the one to go to right now is right here. And I'll make sure to even put the link into my description. Alright, guys, so that way you can find it. But it's www.takedownabuse.org, and it's a thing talking about where you can share your stories about how, due to you watching someone's parody or whatever else, that you ended up going and checking out the original artist or the original version of whatever it is. And I mean, I already shared my story, which was about, which is actually defending Team 4-Star, and talking about how I went up and I watched their videos. And I mean, this is my story, guys. All right, but like I said, I live here in East Central Indiana. Before that, I lived in Northwest Indiana. And even before that, for about like the first 12 years of my life, or 11 or 12 years, I lived in Southern Ohio. And when we lived in Southern Ohio, we had about 36 channels in our cable lineup. And this is still analog cable. This is before we have the digital cable where you can get whatever channels, but you have to order them through the service and all that. We didn't have that. You had whatever your local channel provider had, and that was all you got. But we had 36 channels or so. But one of the channels we ended up getting about about 3-4 years or so before we moved up to Northwest Indiana, we got Cartoon Network. And I loved it because I could watch some of the older cartoons and stuff like that. And we even had the precursor to Toonami, where they had 3 movies, and or was it 3 anime movies or something like that? I can't remember what the third one was, but I remember the first 2. The first one was a movie which was a bunch of short anime films put together, all themed around robots and different robot fictions and whatever. But it was a film called Robot Carnival, which You can probably find some of that on YouTube. I do know, loved the opening theme. That theme is still in my head. I absolutely loved it, and I think you can look it up on YouTube right now. The song is called "Coming Soon," and I forget what the who the composer was, but absolutely love it. And I mean, the film composer for that was really good, and it's really fun because it's early MIDI, or it's that MIDI keyboard of like the early to late 80s or early to mid late 80s or whatever. So it's still has the trumpets, but you can tell it's just someone with a trumpet keyboard just dun 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 dun. It's like, wow, that really does sound choppy, but I like the melody. It's awesome. Um, like I said, it really is a fun song. I loved it. Right after that, you get. They then showed us a censored version of Vampire Hunter D. I did eventually see the uncensored version, and it's. I need to find a copy of Vampire Hunter D. I love that movie. It's one of my absolute favorites. Because I would love to even do a review on it. Be advised though, unnecessary nudity. So there you go. But and I know this video is taking forever, guys. Sorry, but I got to get my story out here. But anyway, but like I said, we had Cartoon Network, and I absolutely loved it. But unfortunately, my dad ended up getting downsized, or was it downsized, or they just let him, or they laid him off, or whatever. And so he ended up getting a job in Northwest Indiana, um, in the same field he was in, because he had an actual career going and everything. I mean, he's retired now, which is great, but and it's awesome because I get to spend more time with him whenever I go back home and visit. But we went up and moved to Northwest Indiana, and unfortunately, when we got up there, the local station gave us a box to watch our TV and everything, but it didn't have Cartoon Network. We got Sci-Fi Channel though, and that was where I ended up watching a lot of my anime there, because they actually used to do like an anime on the Sunday mornings or whatever, or the Saturday mornings, and it was great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Then we also had one of the other channels would do like the old 1950s serials. The old like TV series like Flash Gordon or like the Rocket Man thing or whatever. But it was just great because we would then sit around and make fun of the movies, like the Rocket Man thing where it's like, yeah, this guy's flying around. Okay, he's got his arms up, he's flying around, and he's got a dial, or he's got all these dials to steer his rocket pack on his chest, and one of the dials happens to be a down dial. That makes little sense, but at the same time, okay. And like I said, we made fun of it, and it was fun for us. But I didn't have Cartoon Network, and but I did have buddies that could get it because they had satellite TV. They had the satellite dish. We didn't have that. And of course, then again, dish at that time, it was like, yeah, you had to. The dishes are nowhere near as powerful as they are today. But like I said, my buddy had it, and he was able to watch Dragon Ball Z when it was being aired here in America. And so, I mean, he got to see the whole thing. I didn't. And the first bit of Dragon Ball I got exposed to was watching Dragon Ball Evolution. And like I said, I will do my review on that, alright? And I will talk about that story anyway. But even after watching that, I went ahead and I was like, you know what? I'm interested in checking out the series. But I didn't find the series, but my buddy was able to get like the first season on DVD. And we watched a bunch of the episodes, but I never really finished. And it wasn't until years later when I got onto YouTube and found Team 4 Star making fun of Dragon Ball Z doing Dragon Ball Z abridged, and I loved it. And I watched as far as I could until they got to a place where they had no more of the series because they hadn't made more of the episodes yet. And when they didn't have any more of the episodes yet, I was like, well, I would like to watch the rest of the series. Well, I had Netflix, which unfortunately didn't have it on streaming. You could actually get the discs or whatever through the mail. Unfortunately, I didn't have all of that, or didn't have the patience for that. And Hulu had episodes, but they tend to kind of rotate their seasons through. Um, but I was able to watch all of the original Dragon Ball, which was great. And but I eventually bought like seasons 1 through 4 of Dragon Ball Z, the original Dragon Ball Z. I know right now with the Netflix, I'm going through the Dragon Ball Z Kai series. I just haven't done any reviews on them because, well, Dragon Ball Z Kai is basically the the abridgment of the Dragon Ball Z show. Which maybe I should just go up and do Dragon Ball Z as an actual web, or do that as like my vlog of me going through it. But oh god, problem with Dragon Ball Z, there are just so many freaking episodes. But man, I love the show, love the series. But yeah, due to Team 4 Star, I actually liked this series. I liked Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I mean, hell, I even went out and bought Dragon Ball GT, the complete series. And yes, I will do a review on that too at some point. But and I mean, even so, I mean, I don't own the movies except for Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. But it's the fact that Team 4 Star, and they got me into loving the their work with the abridged series. Make fun of like some of the loopholes or just them just doing off-color jokes. I love Dragon Ball. So, it's that's what you're supposed to do on this site. You're supposed to talk about stories like that. Like I said, that was my story that I shared on this thing. And I talked even about, like I said, when I talked about the copyright claims that are happening on my channel. Now, I mean, I've had 2 copyright claims on trailers, or on the 2 trailers that I did my reactions to. I had those copyright claimed, which I figured, it's going to happen. But at the same time, I kind of wish it hadn't, because technically those trailers, while their product, or their piece of a product that is going to happen later, it's public domain. You've put that trailer out there to say we have this movie, and part of the job of the internet. Granted, we get wouldn't mind getting the money for the fact that we're kind of helping you guys, or kind of helping you promote this or promote these trailers. It's like, yeah, we are helping to get the message out that this movie is happening. And they went up and they're like, no, we gotta have the money all to ourselves, and just they're like, copyright claim on both those videos. Like, well, okay. And now, granted, like I said, when I did my Trucker Star Wars review, I got a copyright claim on that. But it's just the fact that, yeah, Trucker Star Wars is supposed to be, or the movie itself is supposed to be public domain, just like the trailers at that point. And they got copyright claimed. I couldn't get any money for those. And that's the whole idea of this movement that's going on. It's trying to counter all these copyright claims, trying to get something where it's like, or show these companies that yes, the internet is a tool for you guys to make money as well, but we also need our share for the fact that we're helping to promote your videos. We're here to help, or we're helping to show that we love your content, and the fact that by going up and claiming it, or even putting strikes against our channels, you're effectively you're effectively going against, well, I know a lot of you around the world. Well, actually, I know just one of you guys are on my channel is from Britain, but but for us here in America, that's against our constitutional right of free speech. And I mean, when we're doing critiques and everything, we're technically then like a version of a reporter. So therefore, you're going against the freedom of the press. Whether or not we are right or wrong in the reviews, whatever. But you are, excuse me, you are going against the freedom of speech. You are going against the freedom of press, and it's not right. It's not right to go up and just silence people on the internet for the fact that we're trying to do a review, and just because this company wants to make money for our reviews or wants to hit us over the head for the fact that we used some of your footage, we used some of your art, we used some of this, we used some of that. So, the reason for all this work is just to go up and go to YouTube or try to get the policies changed, get the amendment changed enough so that way all of us that are YouTube content creators can actually still make a living, still let our voices be heard, and still be able to actually express ourselves. So, you know, but like I said, um, I just decided to get on my soapbox for this one because guys, we gotta keep this going. We gotta keep trying to push and fight for our right to have a free internet where we can actually do what we want to do. Because the internet's a tool for us to do what we want to do. Say what we want to say, learn what we want to learn. So, I gotta finish this up. We're already into 1 o'clock. Oops. I think I probably talked for about 40 minutes. Oh, my bad. But, like I said, hey, cat, stop it. Cat's attacking me. Surround sound speaker wire again. But like I said, that's just like I said. I can go ahead and get off my soapbox now, but it's like I said, guys. We gotta fight this. All right, we gotta fight for our right to be there for our fans and to provide content for our fans and to make sure that we can still be able to afford wherever we are or whatever, or even like afford to feed ourselves so that way we can be there for our fans, or so we can even fix our technology so that way we can make videos better for our fans, because that's what this is all about. This is about the fact that us as a content creator want to make sure that we can still provide for not only ourselves but for you guys. So like I said, so thank you all again for subscribing to my channel. And like I said, this is not me saying goodbye to this channel. I am keeping this going. So guys, keep spreading the word. Keep this going. I've got 2 more days. Can we actually make my original deadline on this, where I was saying that I wanted to get? Let's see, what am I up to now? Am I still up to 8? Yeah, I'm still at 8. Yeah, come on, guys. We got 2 more days. Can we get those 2 more people during these 2 more days? Can we do it? Can we make it? Let's keep this going. So, anyway, guys, this is Moogle 847, and I will see you all on the next one. Take care.